Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Coming live from Fire Your Heart, children of God. And that's you, and that's you. It's a real shame that rumors, exaggerated truths destroyed my life. And nobody knew what was going on behind the scenes. This water don't stay in these jugs long enough to make a dent. I mean, if we're getting plastic, we're literally swallowing it in the air. We get this secured from a secured area where it's filtered different, away from the house. I don't want to keep expelling where we are allowed to be able to do things, or what. I guess you could say privileges, but. I guess I got to go over the olden days when I found out half my family were child predators. Nobody was listening to me. I still had the police following me. I was working at the Juvenile Delinquency Center, and please, Lord in heaven, can you help me not make this sound like an excuse? I had a virtual breakdown. I was not able to wean my son properly in his first year of life because, and it affected my hormones because of the courts doing such horrible things. Like, they had the PPO, they saw the violence on the paper, there was neighbors, witnesses of what he was doing to me. It didn't matter. For some reason, he still had favor with the authorities, and the man that raised me here all this time was one of my main stalkers with the woman, who are both weird with kids. I keep trying to tell these people they got to stop, they got to keep their hands off the kids. I've got all this other stuff coming at me. I have in the process somewhat stepped away from Jesus to some degree, because it is bold and clear as day that that I had some sort of mark on me from Jesus, and that I was not going to be able to get out of the fact that at some point in my life, my focus was going to have to be geared towards helping people or encouraging people to get to Jesus, some sort of work in the church at times. Be it, I did go into churches and work, but I really need this to be clarified. I still can cry over that time, because the most important time to me of my son's life was his toddler years, and it was just like batting off monster after monster. I had the ex-sister-in-law and the brother allowing the kids to be naked together in the tub. They're not brothers and sisters, all of these things. Then they were going to try to swoop my son from me instead of just sitting back with me and figuring out what the problem was. I had had a virtual breakdown. I could not keep the man that I left from going to my employments, calling my employments, stalking me, drugging me. At one point, I think him and his father, the grandfather, these are bad men. I didn't know how bad they were till I got married in. And why would my family not care? Because half of them are pedophiles too, or weird, no problem exploiting children. You know, my son told me stuff later that he didn't tell me when he was young. He told me a lot when he was little, and I had a breakdown. This is no excuse. Well, how does this justify getting cross-addicted or experimenting? At the same time, I'm a mom at 22 or pregnant, never ever had a proper childhood, never ever just got to have normal just times as a youth. Just everything was do. I end up trapped back, or let's backtrack. I go back to run the family business from Ohio, and my only specification was, do not let him back in this business. If you let him back in here, I have to leave the family for good. Next thing I know, he's being aggressive with me. He's not listening to me when I tell him to stop, and I ended up pregnant. I didn't know what to do. The thing is that people are still going on these judgment calls from over 20 plus years ago. I can never undo that period of time that I got so messed up, and my head was not on straight, and things were disarrayed, and I didn't know why cops were knocking at my door. I didn't know why this person's telling me to leave. These people are saying, leave your kid here. Leave my kid with pedophiles? But then at that last moment in time, 2002, I was going to give up. I was going to leave him behind. There was too many people around me that were doing wrong with him. And I couldn't do it right all the way because I wasn't getting the right help. They were interfering with the medical stuff. I already knew that he had had some injuries from some early vaccines that, once again, people were telling me you got to get them all done in the first year. And I'm like, absolutely not. He already runs hyper. He already runs this. I already see some neurological, something's not right. Like the throwing, like hitting his head on the ground and stuff prior to all the vaccines. I have the doctors and the nurses writing on paper that I'm neglecting my son because I'm not getting all the series of vaccines immediately. All of this was going on between the time he was born till 2002. So I want to know who out there it keeps bringing this stuff back up in my face. I don't care. If you want to keep doing it, I guess I can go back and rehash it and cry or whatever. But let me tell you what, I never got enough cocaine or crack to do nothing. And if you could ever track down any of the people that are still alive, because half of them are dead, either my only witness, he got in some bizarro car accident, and that was when I was going to pursue the police brutality independently between 2003 and 4. So let me tell you what, you take your rumors and you shove them up your ass. Outside of that, I wanted to show you the darn dragonfly. Now he's out here. And I remember now we did do the series of pods, so that might be why the mosquitoes are lower. But the damselflies, is it damsel or damselflies? And dragonflies were just out here a little bit ago. And then every time I try to get a camera. But I'm really hoping that a lot of us here, if you guys are county people or what, you guys were tying me down at the hospital, and you know darn well you didn't get enough of a speck of any illicit drugs in my blood. You know that, and I know that. And that's why you focused on the drunk driving. But you wanted me locked away because you knew I knew what was going on at the Juvenile Delinquency Center, and you were stalking me in my apartment. Should I have been out that night? Should I have even been behind the wheel? No, but it was not even 2 blocks away, and there wasn't no traffic back then. There wasn't a speck of no one downtown. You guys know you put that stupid street sign up years and years and years prior, which I think has finally been changed so that people would turn the wrong way by that karaoke bar. So if you guys want to still hinge and hang on something over 22 years ago, I'd Stan Kotcher with Tom tracking my cars, never giving me a car that would run right so that I couldn't get away with my kid. It's all been entrapment, and I don't want to talk about it no more. And someone out there is going to say, then you don't have to talk about it no more. Well, I don't know. Apparently I do. Because there's still people around thinking I'm going around with a fucking crack pipe in my pocket. And I wasn't even one of those. And I was always with a gosh darn long-standing crackhead, and they all stole the cocaine. I might have had some tip money or something from my diner job or whatever I was doing. Whatever job I could finally get after what happened with you-know-who. But, so this needs to get straightened out. Did I try a little heroin? Yeah, I didn't like that either. Okay? I was a drinker. I liked a little green. I tried some other things. That didn't go good either. Okay? So can we just get this cleared out of the way? Would you like me to take a urine test for you? I can do a urine test if you'd like. Do you want me to do a urine test? And we can I'll show you my blood work, my urine for drugs. Would you like me to do a drug panel? Okay, have a good one.